Every single day you wake up, you step into a battlefield, not a battlefield of war, but a battlefield of the mind. Before you even put your feet on the floor and check your phone, the fight has already begun. Your mind is deciding whether today is going to be productive or wasted. It's deciding whether you're going to push through or make excuses. And most people, they lose the fight before they even get out of bed. The greatest struggle you will ever face isn't in the world, that's right inside your head. Do you think the biggest challenge is your boss, your bills, or your background? No, it's how you think about those things. Some people come from nothing, yet they still make something of themselves. Others are born with every advantage, and they still find a way to fail. Why? Because success isn't about what you have or don't have, it's about how you think. Your thoughts have the power to either push you forward or hold you back. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't do this, then you're already defeated. If you keep saying, I'll never get out of this situation, then guess what? You won't. Not because it's impossible, but because your mind has already accepted failure before you've even started. Your mind is full of doubt. Your actions will reflect that. If your mind is full of fear, your life will follow fear. The reason most people stay stuck is that they allow their mind to control them instead of them controlling their mind. They wake up and let negative thoughts run wild. They let fear dictate their actions. They let past failures define their future. But listen to me, the past is over. Fear is just a thought. And failure is only permanent. If you decide to quit, you have to get in the habit of challenging every thought that tries to hold you back. Think about this. What if, instead of doubting yourself, you trained your mind to believe in yourself? What if instead of saying, I don't think I can do it, you started saying, I will figure it out? Do you know what happens when you start thinking like that? Your actions start aligning with your new beliefs. You stop hesitating. You stop making excuses. You stop letting life push you around. Instead, you take control. But here's the truth. Rewiring your mind is not easy. It takes work. It takes daily effort. You have to be intentional about what you allow into your mental space. You can't spend hours watching negativity, scrolling through nonsense, and hanging around people who do nothing with their lives, and then expect to have a strong mind. Said it doesn't work that way. What you feed your mind will determine what you get out of life. Let me ask you, who's running your mind right now? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it laziness? Or is it's you? The moment you take charge of your thoughts, everything changes. If you want to win in life, you first have to win in your mind. And that battle is fought every single day. Your life right now is a direct reflection of the thoughts you've been thinking. If you want to know where your future is headed, just look at what you think about all day. Are you constantly worrying? Are you always focused on what's wrong? Are you making excuses for why things aren't better? If so, don't be surprised when your life continues to look the same. What you focus on, you will attract more of. If you keep thinking about failure, your mind will look for ways to confirm that failure. If you keep focusing on how hard life is, your brain will filter out any opportunities and only show you obstacles. Your mind is powerful, but it will only work in the direction you train it to go. If you keep heeding it negative thoughts, that's exactly what it will produce. Successful people are not successful because they have never had struggles. They're successful because they train their minds to see opportunities instead of limitations. Where others see problems, they see solutions. Where others see dead ends, they see new beginnings. This shift in thinking doesn't happen by accident. It happens through conscious effort, daily discipline, and an unwillingness to let negative thoughts take root. Have you ever noticed that when you focus on something, it starts appearing everywhere? You think about buying a red car, and suddenly you see red cars everywhere. That's not magic. That's your brain filtering information based on what you focus on. Now imagine if you applied that same principle to success. If you train your brain to look for growth opportunities and solutions, guess what? You'll start seeing them everywhere. Most people never reach their full potential because they spend too much time thinking about what they don't want instead of focusing on what they do want. They wake up dreading the day instead of expecting good things to happen. They complain about their job instead of looking for ways to improve their skills. They focus on their problems instead of searching for answers. And then they wonder why nothing changes. You have to guard your thoughts like your future depends on it, because it does. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me. If it's hurting you, replace it immediately. Replace worry with faith. Replace doubt with determination. Replace fear with action. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. Make sure you're planting the right seeds. So starting today, I want you to take responsibility for your thoughts. No more blaming your circumstances. No more saying this is just how life is. No, your life is a result of your mindset. Change your mind, and everything around you will start to shift. Everybody wants to feel motivated. Everybody wants to wake up, inspire, full of energy, and ready to take on the world. But let me tell you something, motivation is unreliable, it's inconsistent, it comes and goes like the weather. Some days you wake up fired up, ready to work. Other days you don't feel like doing anything. And that's the problem. If you only show up when you feel motivated, you never achieve anything. Great motivation is like a spark, again, get you started, but it won't keep you going. How many times have you felt excited about something only to lose interest a few days later? How many times have you set a goal, gone all in for a week, and then quit because you didn't feel like it anymore? That's why so many people stay stuck. They depend on motivation instead of developing discipline, and discipline is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even you don't feel like it. It's waking up early, even when you'd rather sleep in. It's going to the gym when you'd rather stay home. It's working on your goals when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when nobody cares, because you know where you're headed. You don't need aspiration. You need consistency. You need to show up every single day regardless of how you feel. The truth is, if you wait until you feel like it, you'll be waiting forever. The people who make it in life don't have more motivation than you. They just have more discipline. They've trained themselves to push through, to get up, to keep moving no matter what. They've built habits that keep them on track even on the hardest days. Once you develop that kind of discipline, your life changes forever. You have to stop making decisions based on feelings. Feelings are temporary. One day you're excited, the next day you're tired. One day you're confident, the next day you're doubting everything. If you let your emotions control your actions, you'll never be consistent. You have to operate from commitment, not emotion. You have to decide, no matter what, I'm showing up, no matter what, I'm doing the work. That's how whiners think. Building discipline isn't about being extreme, it's about being consistent. You don't have to make huge changes overnight. Start small, set a schedule and stick to it. Create a morning routine and don't skip it. Train yourself to follow through on what you say you're going to do. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The goal is a perfection. The goal is progress. Progress only happens when you develop the habit of discipline. Motivation is good for getting started, but discipline is what keeps you going. You don't need to be inspired. You need to be committed. You don't need to ready. You need to take action. The people who succeed in life are the ones who push through, who stay consistent, show up every single day regardless of how they feel, because at the end of the day, discipline will take you places that motivation never will. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to level up. But do you know what stops most people? Comfort. Comfort is the killer of dreams. It feels good, it feels safe, but it keeps you stuck. Growth and comfort do not exist in the same space. If you are comfortable, you are not growing. If you are growing, you are not comfortable. The life you want is waiting for you, but it's sitting outside of your comfort zone. Look at your life right now. Look at your routine, your habits, your daily choices. Are they stretching you? Are they challenging you? Or are they keeping you in the same place, repeating the same cycle? If your life looks the same today as it did last year, you are too comfortable. And if you stay there 5 years from now, you'll still be in the same position, wondering why nothing has changed. The truth is, nothing changes until you change. Success requires discomfort. It requires doing things you don't want to do. It requires putting yourself in situations that make you nervous, that challenge you, that push you to grow. If you are avoiding difficulty, you are avoiding progress. If you are running from hard things, you are running from the very thing that will take you to the next level. The struggle, the pressure, the resistance, that's what builds you. That's what turns you into someone who can handle success. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there by staying comfortable? No, they had to make sacrifices. They had to wake up earlier, work harder take risks and step into situations where they had no guarantee of success. They had to embrace fear, rejection, and failure, but every time they pushed past their discomfort, they grew. Every time they stretched themselves, they unlocked a new level in life. Your brain is wired to protect you from discomfort. It tells you to stay safe, to avoid risk, to stick to what's familiar. But what your brain calls safe, your future calls stagnant. You have to reprogram yourself to see discomfort as a good thing. That fear you feel, that's growth knocking at your door. That hesitation, that's the sign that you're about to step into a new version of yourself. Instead of running from discomfort, start chasing it. Stop avoiding hard conversations. Stop running from challenges. Stop saying, "I'm not ready." You will never feel ready. You just have to do it. You have to push through the fear, the uncertainty, the struggle, because on the other side of that discomfort is the person you were meant to become. Growth is painful, change is uncomfortable. But do you know what? Even more painful, stay in the same, looking back years from now and realizing you wasted your potential. You are either growing or you are dying. There is no in between. The people who win in life are the ones who learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, the ones who don't back down when things get tough, the ones who take risks, step up and lean into the struggle, because that struggle is shaping them, that discomfort is molding them, that pressure is building them into the person they need to be to handle the success that's waiting for them. Look around your life right now. How much of your time is spent on things that move you forward? How many hours do you wait scrolling, watching, and listening to things that do nothing for your future? Distractions are everywhere, and if you're not careful, they will rob you of your potential. They don't just take your time, they take your focus, your energy, and your ability to be great. The reason most people never reach their goals isn't because they lack talent or opportunity, is because they're too distracted to stay committed. Success requires focus. If you can't focus, you can't win. If your mind is scattered, jumping from one thing to the next, chasing every little distraction that comes your way, you will never have the discipline to build something great. Every time you pick up your phone instead of working on your goals, every time you waste hours on entertainment instead of investing in yourself, you are choosing comfort over progress. Those little choices, they add up. Distractions are designed to keep you stuck. Social media, television, gossip, meaningless conversations, they'll take you away from what matters. The world is full of people who are more invested in what celebrities are doing than what they're doing with their own lives. People who know everything about the latest trends but can't tell you the last time they worked on their dreams. And then they wonder why they feel lost, why they aren't where they want to be. It's because they're too distracted to build something real. You have to take control of your environment. If you want to be successful, you have to eliminate the things that are pulling you away from your purpose. That might mean turning off your notifications. That might mean cutting back on entertainment. That might mean distancing yourself from people who waste your time. If something is not adding value to your life, it is subtracting from it. And if it's subtracting from it, it has to go. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they spend hours mindlessly scrolling? Do you think they waste time arguing with strangers online? No, they guard their time. They protect their energy. They stay locked in on their goals because they know that success demands focus. If they don't allow distractions to take over their lives, why should you? Cutting out distractions doesn't just mean removing the obvious ones. It means being intentional about where your energy goes. Your attention is your most valuable resource. If you spend it on say, don't be surprised when your life doesn't improve. If you waste it on things that don't matter, don't expect to see results. Every moment you spent distracted is a moment you could have spent building the life you want. Start today. Take an honest look at your habits. Identify what's stealing your time. Be ruthless about removing anything that is not serving your future. Because if you don't control your focus, someone else will. And if you stay distracted, you'll wake up one day wondering where all your time went, realizing you spent years paying attention to everything except your success. Everybody talks about goals. I want to be successful. I want to get in shape. I want to make more money, but setting a goal means nothing if your standards don't match that goal. Goals are what you want, standards are what you accept. Difference between people who succeed and people who fail isn't just goal setting, it's the standard they set for their lives. Your goals tell me what you hope for, your standards tell me what you refuse to tolerate. You can say you want to be wealthy, but if you accept laziness, inconsistency, and poor money habits, you'll never get there. You can say you want to be in great shape, but if you accept skipping workouts, eating junk, and making excuses, you'll never see results. You can say you want to grow in life, but if you accept being around negative, unmotivated people, you'll never elevate your life. Right now is a direct reflection of the standards you have set, not just the goals you've written down. A goal is something you hope to achieve. A standard is something you demand of yourself. People with high standards don't need motivation because their standards don't give them an option to slack off. They don't wait to feel like it because their standard says this is what I do no matter what. A person with a standard of excellence doesn't try to be consistent, they are consistent. A person with a standard of health doesn't try to eat tea, they do eat clean. Your standards are not set by what you say, they're set by what you tolerate. If you accept being average, you will stay average. If you accept making excuses, you will always find a way to justify failure. But if you refuse to lower your standards, if you refuse to accept anything less than your best, you will force yourself to level up. The moment you set a new standard for your life is the moment everything begins to change. Think about elite athletes, top business leaders, or highly successful people in any field. They don't just have goals, they have non-negotiable standards. They don't accept mediocrity. They don't let emotions dictate their effort. They hold themselves accountable even when no one is watching. And that's why they win. They don't allow their life to be controlled by circumstance. They demand excellence from themselves every single day. If you want to change your life, stop just setting goals and start setting standards. Don't just say I want to be successful. Set the standard that you will only surround yourself with driven, successful people. Don't just say I want to be in shape. Set the standard that you will work out at least 5 days a week. No excuses. But don't just say I want to be financially free. Set standard that you will be disciplined with your money and refuse to settle for less. The moment you decide to raise your standards, everything shifts. Your habits change, your mind set changes, your results have changed, because when you truly raise your standards, you stop needing motivation, you stop making excuses, and you start demanding more from yourself. And when you hold yourself to a higher standard, the life you've been chasing will finally start chasing you back. Your words have power. What you say about yourself, what you declare over your life, what you speak into existence, it all matters. Too many people talk themselves out of success before they even get started. They music say I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, and I don't have what it takes. And guess what? They're right, not because they lack ability, but because they have convinced themselves that they do. The words you speak shape the reality you live in. If you keep speaking defeat, don't be surprised when you keep losing. If you want to change your life, you have to change your language. Stop saying I can't and start saying I will. Stop saying I'm struggling and start saying I'm learning. Stop saying I'm broke and start saying I'm building wealth. The way you talk about yourself is either setting you up for success or keeping you stuck where you are. And most people don't even realize they are speaking negativity into their future. Every single day, think about this. Would you talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself? Would you tell them they're a failure, that they'll never be successful? Should they just give up? No, you wouldn't. So why do you say those things to yourself? Why do you let your voice be the loudest voice tearing you down? It's time to start speaking life over yourself the way you would for someone you love. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. Successful people don't wait for external validation. They don't need someone else to tell them they can do it. They tell themselves they can do it. They wake up every morning and affirm their vision, their ability, and their success, even when they don't feel like it, even when the results aren't showing yet, even when nobody else believes in them. They don't speak based on what they see now. They speak based on where they are going. Your words create your mindset, and your mindset creates your results. If you keep telling yourself you're not worthy, you won't even try. If you keep saying you'll never succeed, you won't put in the effort. But if you start speaking power over your life, if you start declaring success, if you start affirming in your greatness, something shifts. You start moving differently. You start thinking differently. You start acting like the person you were always meant to be. Speaking life over yourself doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means shaping reality. It means training your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles. It means programming yourself to think like a winner, to move like a champion, and to expect the best instead of fearing the worst. Life always have challenges, but your words determine how you respond to them, and how you respond determines whether you rise or fall. Wake up every day and declare victory over your life. Speak power over your dreams. Speak confidence into your spirit. Stop tearing yourself down with negativity and start lifting yourself with words of strength, faith, and determination. Because when you change the way you talk about yourself, you change the way you see yourself. And when you change the way you see yourself, you change what you become. What are the hardest things to learn in life is how to say no. Most people are afraid of disappointing others or feeling guilty or missing out on opportunities. But here's the truth: if you don't learn how to say no, you will never be able to protect your time, your energy, or your focus. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to your future. And that's the harsh reality most people don't want to face. You cannot afford to say yes to everything, and everyone saying no is a form of self-respect. It's a way of protecting your time and your priorities. Every moment you spend doing something that doesn't serve you is a moment you could have spent moving closer to your dreams. Think about all the times you've agreed to do something just to please others or to avoid conflict, only to end up regretting it later, saying yes when you should have said no. Keep you distracted, drained, and unproductive. It's like giving away your power to other people. Learning to say no doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you're focused. It means you value your time and your energy enough to guard them. Every opportunity is not a good opportunity. Every invitation is not an opportunity for growth. Some things are distractions, some things are energy drains, and some things are simply not in line with the life you're trying to build. By saying no, you create space for what matters. You create space for your goals, your dreams, and your future success. The key is to understand that every yes is a commitment. When you say yes to something, you're committing to it. Whether it's a meeting, a favor, a project, or anything else, but your time is limited. You can't afford to commit to things that don't align with your purpose or your bigger vision. You have to protect your time with the same intensity that you protect your finances, your relationships, and your health. When you say no, you are protecting your ability to focus on what matters most. It's also important to recognize that saying no doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. You don't have to be disrespectful or aggressive. In your refusal, you can say no kindly, respectfully, and confidently. You don't owe anyone an explanation, and you don't have to feel guilty about setting boundaries. People will respect you more for saying no and standing firm in your decisions than if you keep saying yes and end up overextended, burn out and resentful. Saying no doesn't just protect your time, it protects your mental and emotional well-being. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly saying yes to others, you're neglecting yourself. You're neglecting your own goals, your health, and your happiness. But when you learn to say no, you give yourself the space to recharge, to focus, and to invest in what truly matters. Say no allows you to say yes to your growth and success. Remember, every time you say yes to something that's not in line with your goals, you're saying no to your future. So get comfortable with saying no. Get comfortable with setting boundaries. Understand that every no is a step closer to your yes, your big yes to the life you're building. The more you practice saying no, the more you'll realize how freeing it is. And the more you say no to the things that don't serve you, the more you have the energy, focus, and time to say yes to the things that will propel you forward. It's easy to work hard when people are watching. Is easy to give your best when you know you'll get praise, attention, or recognition. But the real test of your character, your work ethic, and your commitment comes when no one is around, when nobody is clapping for you, when nobody is cheering you on, when the cameras are off and the spotlight is gone. That's when true greatness is built. You see, success isn't about the applause, it's about what you do when no one is paying attention. The reality is that most of the time you'll be working in silence. No one will see the late nights, the early mornings, hours spent grinding, learning, and pushing through obstacles. No one will see the sacrifices you make, the times you choose to work instead of relaxing, the moments when you choose growth over comfort. But that's okay. Those moments, the ones when you feel like no one is watching, are the ones that will pay off the most in the long run. If you're only working hard when someone is watching, you're not truly committed to your goals. True commitment doesn't depend on external validation, it depends on internal discipline. It's about knowing that even if no one ever sees the effort you put in, you are building something important. You are creating a foundation that will support the success you're striving for. And even if no one recognizes your effort right now, trust that the results will speak for themselves. The world is full of people who want success, but I don't want to do the work when no one is looking. They want to be seen and they want the recognition, but they're not willing to make the sacrifices necessary when the spotlight is turned off. If you want to stand out, you have to be willing to put in the work when nobody's there to applaud you. When you keep pushing forward, even when there's no immediate reward, you build resilience, grit, and an unshakable belief in yourself. Send those quiet moments of effort that your character is built, the moments when nobody is watching, when there's no instant gratification, when it feels like you're working for nothing. That's when you find out who you either stay the course or give up. You either keep going or quit. You either show up consistently or let your doubts and distractions get in the way. Those are the moments that separate the dreamers from the doers. Success doesn't come from what you do in the moments of recognition. It comes from what you do when no one is looking. It's about the quiet discipline, the persistence, the commitment to your goals when there's no immediate reward. The work you do when no one is watching is what will set you apart. It's what will make you stand out in the end, because the ones who show up when it's hard, when there's no praise and no recognition, are the ones who will ultimately be the most successful. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or hold you back. It's that simple. If you're constantly around people who are negative, complacent, or unmotivated, don't be surprised when you find yourself stuck in the same place. Your circle of influence plays a major role in the life you live. If your friends are all settling for less, that they're not pushing themselves, if they're not striving for something greater, then how can you expect to do the same? You can't grow in a space that doesn't challenge you. Look at the people you spend the most time with. Do they inspire you to be better? Do they push you to reach for more? Do they encourage you to take risks, step outside your comfort zone, to elevate your thinking? Or do they reinforce your excuses, remind you of your limitations, and distract you from your goals? Your circle reflects your current state and where you are headed. If you're not happy with where you are, look at who you're surrounded by and ask yourself if they are part of your growth or part of your stagnation. It's not about cutting people off for the sake of being ruthless. It's about making a conscious decision to surround yourself with people who are aligned with the person you're becoming. Your growth is too important to be hindered by negative energy. Your time is too valuable to be spent with people who don't believe in your potential. If you want to elevate, you have to be willing to leave behind people who are holding you down. You need people who challenge you, who inspire you, who push you to be better, and who hold you accountable. The right circle will fuel your ambition. They will make you believe in yourself when you doubt it. They will celebrate your wins and push you through your losses. They won't let you stay stuck. The people you surround yourself with are mirrors. They reflect your mind, set your attitudes, and your potential. If your circle is not helping you get closer to your goals, it's time to recess. You don't need a lot of people. You need the right people. Understand that when you change your circle, you are not only changing your environment, you are changing the way you think, the conversations you have, the values you share, the goals you discuss. All of these things shape your mindset. If you're constantly around people who think small, who play it safe, who settle for mediocrity, it's easy to adopt those same patterns. But when you surround yourself with high-level thinkers, people who dream big, and people who are constantly improving themselves, you begin to think Bigger dream higher and aim for more. Remember, the people in your circle can either elevate you or limit you. They can either challenge you to be your best or allow you to stay in your comfort zone. If you want to change your life, you have to change your circle. It's not enough to just work hard. Need the right energy, the right support, and the right influences around you. Once you do that, your life will start to shift in ways you never thought possible. Your environment will become a launch pad, not a limitation. And you'll find that the sky is the limit when you're surrounded by people who truly believe in your greatness. Perseverance is not just about pushing through the easy days. It's about enduring through the toughest ones. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you're exhausted, discouraged, or facing obstacles that seem insurmountable. Though the road to success is not smooth, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when everything seems too hard, and when the universe seems to be against you. But those are the days that truly matter. Those are the days that define whether you're going to make it or not. Perseverance is about maintaining your commitment to your vision even when progress is slow. It's easy to get motivated when everything is going well. It's easy to put in the work when the rewards are visible and within reach. But perseverance is required when things get tough, when the rewards seem far off, and effort feels like it's not paying off. It's about continuing to show up day after day, even when it feels like you're not moving forward, because the truth is progress is happening, even when you can't see it. Every successful person has faced setbacks, failures, and hardships. What separates those who make it from those who don't is their ability to keep going despite the challenges life is going to test you. People are going to doubt you. Situations are going to arise that will try to knock you off course. But your ability to stay in the game, to keep pushing, to stay committed to your purpose, that's what will set you apart. When you can keep moving forward even when everything is falling apart around you, that's when you know you've mastered the art of perseverance. There will be times when you feel like quitting is the only option. You'll feel frustrated, tired, and defeated. But in those moments, remember that the greatest growth often comes from the most difficult challenges. Those moments when you feel like you've hit rock bottom are the very moments that are preparing you for the next level. Perseverance is about having the mental strength to keep going even when everything in you is telling you to stop. It's about being able to look at failure and say, not today, I'm not giving up. The beauty of perseverance is that it compounds over time. The more you keep going, even when it's hard, the stronger you become. Each challenge you face, each obstacle you overcome, build your resilience. And over time, that resilience will make you unshakable. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, setbacks, and bumps. But with perseverance, every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. The more you persist, the closer you get to your break. Through mastering perseverance, it's not about avoiding failure. It's about developing the ability to rise each time you fall. It's about knowing that failure is not final, that setbacks are not the end of your story. It's about understanding that the difference between a dream and a reality is not talent, luck, or timing. It's about grit, determination, and the ability to keep moving forward no matter what life throws at you. If you can master the art of perseverance, nothing can stop you from achieving the success you're destined for. The truth is, there will be times in your journey when you'll be the only one who believes in your vision. No one else will see it. No one else will understand it. And some people may even doubt you, question your ability, or tell you that it's impossible. But in those moments, you have to be willing to stand firm in your belief in yourself. If you wait for others to believe in you before you believe in yourself, you will never reach your potential. You have to start with your faith in what you're capable of, even when the world isn't cheering you on. Belief in yourself is not just about having confidence in your abilities. It's about having an unshakable faith in your potential. It's about knowing that even if things don't look the way you want them to right now, you are still capable of greatness. It's about trusting that your efforts will pay off, even if there's no immediate proof. The world may not always see your vision, and that's okay. Your belief is the fuel that will drive you, and external support is absent. When you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter if others do or not. Your belief is enough to keep you moving forward. People may doubt you and they may not see your worth. But the most important thing is that you see your worth. You cannot wait for validation from the outside world tell you that you're on the right path. You have to create that validation for yourself. The people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who believe in their abilities when no one else does. They don't wait for permission or applause. They believe in their potential so strongly that they keep going even when the world is silent. It's easy to give up on yourself when others are not supporting you, when the feedback you're receiving isn't what you want to hear, or when you feel like the world is telling you no. But you have to remember other people's opinions don't determine your worth. Other people's doubts don't dictate your future. What matters is how much you believe in yourself. Self-belief is the foundation of all success. It's what allows you to keep pushing when things get tough. It's what gives you the strength to rise after you fall. When you believe in yourself, you permit yourself to take risks, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. You don't let fear or failure stop you. You understand that setbacks are just stepping stones to success, and you trust that you have the strength and the resilience to overcome them. Belief in yourself gives you the courage to keep going even when the road gets rough. It gives you the power to defy the odds and prove everyone wrong, including yourself. The most powerful force in the world is a person who believes in themselves even when no one else does. When you believe in yourself, you create your opportunities, you build your momentum, and the end you open doors that others said were closed. Don't wait for someone else to tell you that you can do it. Don't wait for others to permit you to chase your dreams. Your belief in yourself is the key to unlocking your future. So even when the world doubts, you stand tall in your faith and keep moving forward, because if you believe in yourself, no one else's disbelief will ever matter.